Welcome to Box Recaps. Today I'm going to explain the movie Anonymous Animals, released in the year 2020. As the movie begins, we see a man who's wearing long shoes walking in the fog. He walks across a fox. It looks as if the fox is frozen. Another man is seen. He's wearing no shirt, has an iron chain on his neck, and is tied to a tree next to a road. His appearance shows that he must be treated like an animal. The man continuously tries to break the chain and uses all of his energy to do it. The chain is really strong, and he will never be able to break them. The man tries everything that he can, but fails miserably. In the end, he gives up and lies down on the forest floor. He then gets up, and as he turns, we can see all the scars on his back. This shows that the man has been brutalized by someone before. He sits down on the side of the road and starts to think about something. It is getting dark, and the man looks really scared. He sees a car approaching and starts to run toward the jungle. The car pulls up, someone looks at the man, and then it goes away. Then we see the car coming back towards the man and pulling up across the road. The man gets more scared and tries to break free again, but fails. He looks at the car as if he had seen the devil in it. An anonymous animal gets out of the car and walks toward the car trunk. As it is getting dark, we cannot properly see its features. It takes out an axe and starts slowly moving towards the man who's trembling with fear. The next scene takes us into the jungle. Here we see three people who are sneaking around in the forest as if they're being followed by something. These three people also look really scared, as someone approaches them and they decide to spread out to get away from whatever is following them. Two of them run out into the jungle and one stays in his position. After a while, we hear a growl, and with it a scream of the woman who just ran. The guy who stayed back has no idea what is going on or if he will be able to see his friends again. He starts to move very slowly, but he hears a sound, as if someone is following him. He turns and tries to see who's after him. Then suddenly he sees a man-like figure in the distance, with something in his hand. It's the anonymous animal. It appears from behind the man, and the man is killed as we hear a huge growling voice. Then we see someone driving a car passing through the jungle. In the back of the car, we see the man who was all chained up before. He's sitting in a cage. Now we see another anonymous animal that has the head of a deer but the body of a human. It is holding a gun as it looks towards the plains of the jungle. Some more people are being transported in the back of a van. The anonymous animal is seen eating raw meat. The chained man who was in a cage is now seen taken somewhere by another anonymous animal. The van stops in a cattle barn, and its doors open. The people in the van are scared to get off. They get really scared and start to move back and forth in the van. Then a light is put on, and an anonymous animal with the head of a bull gets on the van to get the people off it. These people are just being treated as cattle are at a cattle farm. The man who was chained before is taken to a shed. He still looks scared as he looks at the anonymous animal that brought him. The anonymous animal is looking for something, and when he finds it, he grabs the man and tells him to sit on a bucket. He then starts to paste something on the scars on the man's back. The man then starts to cry, just like a dog. Next, we see some fences, and the anonymous animal with the face of a deer is still standing with the gun in his hands, still staring at the plains of the area. The people in the cattle barn are seen running just like cattle in the barn. One of the anonymous animals is seen here watching something. As the people go the wrong way while running, the anonymous animal with the bull head comes in front of them and uses a taser on one of the men. The man falls to the ground. He then gets up and starts to run towards the fence. He also receives an electric shock as he touches the fence and dies, as the rest of the people look at him. The bull-headed anonymous animal comes towards the man's body and pulls it away as the rest of them see. The anonymous animal with the horse head is seen sitting and smoking. In front of him are buckets filled with blood. He then takes these buckets in the back of a truck and drives away from the truck. Then we see the man who was chained before looking out of the window as the truck pulls up outside. The horse-head anonymous animals get out of the truck, and the dog-head anonymous animals approach him, taking a bucket from him. Then they both stand and talk, after which the horse head gets back on the truck and leaves. The man gets really confused and scared. He starts to move around the room, thinking about his faith. The dog-head anonymous animal comes into the room with a bucket in his hand. He puts the bucket on the table and opens it. Then he takes out some meat on a plate and puts it in front of the man. The man runs towards it and starts to eat it immediately, just like a dog does, while the dog-head anonymous animal looks toward him. The deer-head anonymous animal is still standing with his gun as he was before. He hears some sounds and immediately gets alert. He fills his gun with the cartridges and starts to run towards the jungle. The chained man is again seen. As he eats food, the dog-head anonymous animals looks at him and throws another empty bucket of food with the rest of the empty buckets. The man looks towards his plate again and again. Now he looks like he's been well fed, and the scars on his back also seem to be healing. The man is now wearing a shirt and is sitting in the back of the car in a cage, as the dog-head anonymous animal drives the car. The horse-head anonymous animal is again seen working in the cattle barn, as one of the men there looks really nervous and is breathing heavily. The dog-head anonymous animal drives the car to a house and he takes the man out of the car. They're joined by another deer-head anonymous animal. They take the man to a room where animals are kept and leave him there again, tied with an iron chain on his neck. The man tries to break free, but it is of no use, as they've put a lock on the chain and the door is also closed from the outside. The man looks out a small window and sees that the two anonymous animals open up a door which leads to a basement. They walk down some stairs and look inside. The next scene shows that the people at the barn are standing together as they look at something. The man is still looking out of the small window when a bare-headed anonymous animal is seen looking back at him. He then opens the room and grabs the chain to which the man is tied with. They then start to pull the man out of the room. As the man resists, he falls to the ground, but the bare-headed anonymous animal keeps pulling him. The man starts to scream louder and louder. Back at the barn, the people are still standing and staring at something when one of them, a girl, tries to escape from underneath the electric fence. The door of the barn opens, and the bullhead anonymous animal walks in. He comes near the people and notices something. The girl has escaped from underneath the electric fence and is now hiding. The bullhead anonymous animal opens the gate and gets near the people. He takes out his tasing stick and starts to tase them one by one. The girl at this point is really scared and is breathing heavily. Before she could be found, she sees a door and starts to run toward the door. As she's about to open the door, the bullhead anonymous animal senses her presence. As he looks at the door, the girl hides. She tries to control herself from crying as he gets near her. As she's about to get caught, she runs through some plastic sheets which are hanging from the room. The bullhead anonymous animal follows her. As she gets to the other side of the sheets, she sees the horse-headed anonymous animal sitting on a chair. The bull-headed anonymous animal also comes there, but the horse-headed anonymous animal and him get into an argument. The horse-headed anonymous animal takes the girl out, and they start to move toward the door of the barn. As she's about to leave, the horse-headed anonymous animal kills her. He then takes her body and drags it away. The bare-headed anonymous animal takes the man somewhere, and as the man lays on the ground, he changes his chain and then grabs a huge axe and starts to hit it on the floor. The man looks around and sees different kinds of anonymous animals all are looking at him. At first they come close to the man and have a look at him. Then they gather along in a corner of the room to discuss something. They get in an argument and one of them throws the other on the ground. A cash transaction is made. They all then come close to the man and stand in a straight line. The man looks at the ground, and now he knows what is going to happen to him. We again see the deer-headed anonymous animals running in the jungle with a gun in his hand, as we also hear animal voices in the background. Another anonymous animal comes in the room. He also has a man attached to a chain. All the anonymous animals gather around. The other man comes near the previous man, and then he starts to fight with him, as the anonymous animals are now betting on the men fighting each other. The man runs towards the dog-head anonymous animal and grabs him, while the other anonymous animals grab him and throw him back into the fight. The man tries to run away from the fight, and everyone starts to bully the dog-head anonymous animal because he brought the man for the fight. Just like a dog fight, this fight was also going to be very gruesome, and all the anonymous animals had gathered here to enjoy that. The bare-head anonymous animal starts to pull the man's chain to get him back into the fight. As he gets near him, he throws him into the fight. The men are fighting again, and the man hits the other man and runs towards the dog-head anonymous animals and hugs him tight. All the anonymous animals try to throw him back to the fight, but the man holds on to the dog anonymous animal really tight. Everyone is tackling the man, and the bare-head anonymous animal falls to the ground. They try their best to get the man back into the fight, but are unable to. The horsehead anonymous animal is standing at his side, smoking a cigarette as he enjoys what he sees. The deerhead anonymous animal orders the bearhead anonymous animal to do something about this problem, so he goes and grabs a huge axe. As the other anonymous animal grabs the man, the bearhead anonymous animal swings the axe and kills the man. They then throw the body on the back of the truck and put the other man also there. Then the other man is also taken to the barn, and as he's covered with bloodstains, they throw water at him to get him all cleaned up. He's then taken inside the barn. The man is really confused and worried. The horse-headed anonymous animal is also there and is working. The man looks here and there, and when he feels that no one is there, he opens his fence and slowly and quietly tries to escape. As he moves towards the door, he sees the bullhead anonymous animal standing near the door. The man gets scared, but he's still looking for a chance to get out of this place. As the horsehead anonymous animals is still working, the man notices that there's no one at the door anymore. He starts to run towards the door slowly. Then, as he gets near it, he gets faster and faster. The bullhead anonymous animal sees him, and as he goes to stop the man, he's unable to, and the man escapes them. The bullhead anonymous animal stands on the door and shouts really loud. We come back to the scene where the deerhead anonymous animals put the cartridges in his gun and starts to run towards the jungle. The man is running to the jungle in order to escape, and the jungle itself looks very scary as well as dangerous. The man keeps on running, and as he runs, he hears different animal voices. The deer-headed anonymous animal is running behind the man with the gun in his hand. The man is running for his life, but the deerhead anonymous animal is right on his tail. He gets closer and closer to him with every step. At this point, it seems like the deerhead anonymous animal wants to catch the man alive, as he is not shooting him from a very close range. They run deep and deeper into the jungle. Then eventually, we see that it is actually the man who is chasing the deer, not the deer chasing the man, and the man shoots it. This movie is actually about the prospect of the animals that suffer so much because of us humans. Some of us make animals suffer in the name of sports, like dogfights, hunting, and other animal sports. We humans should be more careful about such matters before it gets too late. The movie ends here. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.